Hello, student presenters at SOURCE 2020 and the Grad Academic Symposium. This is Professor Stan Zygmunt. I'd like to thank you, first of all the work that you've done this year and for taking the time to present it at our virtual symposium. I'm going to take a few minutes here to show you how to use Google Hangouts or Google Meet to host the session that you will have on the day of SOURCE. You should have already received a detailed instruction sheet, and this will simply give you some orientation if you're not too familiar with using Google Meet. Here's the SOURCE webpage, and of course the final program where you can find your name and presentation. And this is the place where those who attend will click to display your abstract and then be able to view your presentation file, listen to your audio file, and on the day of the event, actually join your meeting. On the day of the event, assuming that you have scheduled your meeting using Google Calendar, the easiest way to launch the meeting, hopefully doing this about 5 minutes before the scheduled launch time, is to go to Google Calendar. Find your meeting, and I'm going to open a meeting that I'm hosting myself. So I just click it on the calendar, and then I join it using Google Meet video conference software. So you can now see me on the screen. I'll join the meeting, and here's the console where you will be the host for your session at SOURCE. You can see that you can mute the microphone if you need to. You can turn on and off the camera, and then eventually when you leave, you'll leave through the button at the bottom. Most important for you will be using the Present Now button. Probably, because there may be a time during your session where you want to put on the screen some document that might even be your presentation file. So if you just click in the box and then click Share, then you'll be able to launch a PowerPoint file. For example, here's a research poster from a conference that I attended last year. And if I go into the presentation mode of PowerPoint, then everyone should be able to see my slide. You can choose then to stop sharing this at any point and go back to the meeting itself. Another thing that you can do is using the 3 dots over on the bottom right is you can change settings, you can change the layout for your meeting, and there are various options here. Probably more important will be the upper right-hand corner, where if you click on the 3 lines, you get either the chat or people who are in your conversation, who are in the meeting. And one thing that you might want to do in the chat is paste into it a link to your presentation file and your audio file that you can get directly from the final program. And the reason that this might be helpful is if you open your meeting and find out that most of the people who are in the meeting have not yet viewed your presentation file or have not yet taken the time to listen to your audio file, then you may want to invite them to take a couple minutes to do that first and then rejoin your meeting for questions and answers. On the other hand, if you find out that most of the people who are in attendance at your meeting have already taken a look at your presentation, you may be able to just give a few words of introduction and then go right on into questions and answers. So you're the host. You can do with your session whatever you want. Just realize that because it's a 50-minute session, attendees will be dropping in and out at different points during that time. And you should definitely keep your meeting open for the entire time duration in case someone does drop in later. So I hope this helps just a little bit to orient you toward using Google Meet to host your presentation on the day of SOURCE. And once again, thank you for doing this. We hope you get some good interaction with people who attend and some good feedback on your work. And once again, thank you for presenting at SOURCE.